Razorback Football Classics with your hosts, Frank Broyles and Rick Schaefer.
The ball goes to Scott, behind him to Pierce, into the center of the line, and he stops at the touchdown.
Has beautiful protection, lots of time, fires a long pass down the field. Carpenter's got it, he's out in front of the left man, he's racing down the sidelines, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown.
Marshall, under pressure, throws quickly to the right flat, and Lindsey looks back just in time to take the throw.
Jones gets it off. He's got Anderson. He's got the touchdown.
This week's Razorback Classic is the 1964 championship season with special guests Jim Lindsey, Fred Marshall, Lloyd Phillips, and Bobby Roper. Brought to you by these fine sponsors.
It was the dream season for the Arkansas Razorbacks, undefeated, untied, and unchallenged for the national championship. This is Rick Schaefer along with Athletic Director Frank Broyles, and tonight we're going to look back at the 1964 national championship season. And Coach, when it was all over, what were you feeling?
Well, Rick, my greatest feeling was I was so proud for the Arkansas fans, number one, who had supported us and given us this opportunity, and for John Barnhill, my mentor who had hired me, brought me here. He had laid the foundation for the Razorback program, and we had the ultimate success finally of an undefeated, untied season. And I walked into him, Rick, and I wanted to see the smile on his face, and instead it was a frown. And before I could say a word, he said, "Frank, you've just messed up the best coaching job in America. You never win them all. You can go anywhere but down." But I want to say this before we go into the segments of it. This team was overachievers because they had pride. Pride counted for this team. They had the most excellent attitude, determination, commitment, but pride was the key that made them come from behind and shut out the last 5 teams with goose eggs for the season.
We're going to change our format tonight, and we think you're going to enjoy it. We've got 4 members of that team, and they're going to carry the show tonight, Coach. We got Jim Lindsey. We've got Fred Marshall, the quarterback from that team. We got Lloyd Phillips, an Outland Trophy winner 2 years later, and Bobby Roper, 4 of the best that you ever coached.
We're going to just turn the show over to them. I'm stepping aside because they're going to tell stories on all of us, I'm sure. It's going to be a great show. Stay tuned.
I'm home.
Wendy's 99-cent crispy chicken nuggets introduces Movie Mania.
Yay, nuggets! See ya!
Hey, how was your day?
Now, with every order of delicious all-white meat nuggets, you'll win one of 50 million prizes or offers, including millions of free movie rentals at Blockbuster.
Forget something?
Sauce.
Sauce. Hang on.
The 99-cent chicken nuggets and Movie Mania at Wendy's. It's better here.
Dad, the movie's starting.
Sometimes it may seem that red carpet service is just a thing of the past. Not at Lindsey & Associates.
They were very reliable and very helpful.
They listened to what we wanted, we're looking for, our family, what our needs were.
For almost 30 years, we've been serving the families of Northwest Arkansas.
When they showed us this house, it was just perfect for us.
I guess you could say that at Lindsey & Associates, we still make house calls. Lindsey & Associates. We bring great neighbors together.
Parkway Infinity.
Thinking about buying a Lexus IS 300 or BMW 330i? We ask you to consider the Infiniti G35 from Parkway Infinity. 260 horsepower, 3.5-liter engine, more horsepower and torque than the IS 300 or 330i, plus significantly more interior space and cargo capacity, plus a longer warranty. The Infiniti G35 exclusively from Parkway Infinity at Little Rock.
West Markham and Chenal Parkway across from Home Depot.
Accelerating the future.
Shaking the Shakey's, 'cause Shakey's the one. Going to Shakey's for old-fashioned fun. Telling everyone you know, you gotta go to Shakey's. Telling everyone you know, you gotta go to Shakey's. You gotta go to Shakey's. Shakey's, 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 Shakey's.
Welcome back to Razorback Classics. My name is Fred Marshall. I'm certainly happy to be here. With me here today is Jim Lindsay, the tailback on that team, Bobby Roper, and Lloyd Phillips, representatives of the defensive side of the ball. But we had 13 seniors, 11 of them were starters, and in that we really did have some great leadership. Secondly was preparation, and I think that brings into the coaching aspects. We had, without a doubt, the finest coaching staff in America at that time, if not forever. And thirdly was execution. I think we just didn't make many mistakes that year. And then obviously the fourth thing was defense. We could have won 5 ball games with a field goal in each game. So it was really defense. But that's what I recall most about that season. And I'd like for you guys kind of, be a little bit more brief than I was in what that team meant to you guys.
Well, it really, as far as I was concerned, Freddie, it went back to after we had gotten beat at SMU, and y'all, the seniors, called together and said, hey, we want a scrimmage next week. Well, when a group of people say they want a scrimmage and at the end of the season, something's a little off, or you're really serious about it. The truth was our group was serious, and we worked the next week like it was 2-a-days and starting fall practice or spring practice, and from that moment, I think the commitment of y'all's group as seniors and our team overall made a statement right then. And from that point forward, we had a chance. It wasn't any assured situation, but at least we had a chance to have a great team.
Jim, along with what you said, that we went into that first spring practice, and I never will forget that thing. Wilson Matthews was my coach, and we had a tackling drill. He introduced a tackling drill in it, and one guy would get over on the sideline, and then another guy would get over on the hash mark. And we'd be about, I don't know, distance-wise, about 15, 20 yards apart, not just the distance from the hash mark to the sideline, but about 20 yards separated. And he'd put an X down on the ground. He said, now you guys meet right here. And you can get cranked up moving pretty good with that time of distance. And I never will forget, we were having a tackling drill over there, and that guy's laying everywhere, And I looked around, and I was the only guy in my line. I thought, well, either I'm going to have to pass out or do something, because I'm going to have to go twice in a row. But the people that we had there wanted to be a Razorback. It was important that they wanted to be a Razorback. They wanted to play football games where it had all those people in the stands, and they were all in red, and they were all calling the Hogs. And it was something. It was really something. I remember being in the huddle a couple of times where they were calling the Hogs, and I couldn't hear the defensive signals that were called.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be somewhat repetitive. It's ironic that I was just sitting here thinking about that spring training. Fact is, I don't think I ever went through another spring training after that. I was always hurt. But that tackling drill that Bobby was talking about, he wasn't exaggerating. And the other thing is I want to go back to our upperclassmen with these guys. We had tremendous leadership. We had, like Freddie said, we had a great coaching staff. But I want to say that it was the upperclassmen leadership is why we won the national championship. There's not any question in my mind.
For the short, for the tall,
for the big, for the small,
for the day trippers,
for the sunbathers,
for the surfers,
for the divers,
for the ball players, for the fans,
for those who speak up, for those who stand out,
for the singers,
for the original, for the responsible,
for the kissers, for the committed,
for those who love you,
for those who love you not,
for those who love you a little,
for those who love you a lot, for the hot days, for the starry nights,
for the endless days of summer,
for all of us,
for everyone.
He's at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas!
If you love Razorback football as much as I do, tune in to the Houston Nut Show this season. We're giving away prizes that would make any fan's mouth water. How would you like to have dinner with Houston Nutt? Fly on the team plane to an away game. Watch a game with the Razorbacks from the sidelines. Signed footballs, hats, and much, much more. No purchases necessary. Just go to hankybrothers.com to enter.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Now there are more reasons than ever to bank with Simmons First. We're Arkansas based and we're Arkansas committed. We've been serving Arkansans for over 95 years. We have friendly, professional associates offering quality customer service. We offer a wide variety of competitive products, and we're expanding our services throughout Arkansas. But you know, probably the best reason is because we're willing to work hard to earn your business. So stop by Simmons First. We want to be your bank.
Well, guys, talking about what the team meant to y'all certainly brings back a lot of memories. I'd like to maybe start talking about some of the specific ball games of that year. We started off with Oklahoma State, followed by Tulsa, and then we started our conference. From a personal standpoint, I saw most of those games from the sideline, so I got hurt early in the Oklahoma State game, didn't play the Tulsa game, and I was a spectator of those two games. Jim, Bob, Lloyd, what do you remember about those first two non-conference games?
Well, you know, we fought hard to beat Oklahoma State 14-10, and we were struggling, and you were hurt. One of the things I remember is that Coach Broyles never lost the path of who the quarterback was, and if you ever get caught in a situation where somebody wants two quarterbacks or thinks they're going to play two or three quarterbacks, it's a very unsettling experience to players, and he never took his eye off Fred on that, and he stayed with Fred all the way. And then we played Tulsa, and you know they got 22 first downs to our 6, at us 14-0, and really Ronnie Cavaness brought the troops to the front. You really look at those senior group. Well, we hadn't mentioned their names, but you talk about Jimmy Johnson, you talk about Jerry Jones, you talk about Ronnie Cavaness, you talk about Fred Marshall, and you go through that whole list of guys from Glenn Ray Hines to Jerry Welch. On into Bill Gray. You add all that up and you really come up with a group of guys that were just so exceptional and played so above themselves that year that they carried us along with them, and there's just a great group of people that have been very successful in life.
But I thought Tulsa was the next best football team we played that year. They went on to play in a bowl game in Houston, and of course it was raining and they didn't get to use their offense down there. Got beat by Tennessee, I believe it was. But I thought Tulsa was really, really something. And I know they had Howard Twilley out there, receiver, and we'd worked all week about double cover, and they were going to take the ends and double cover with them. And the first time they got the ball, well, I went out there and to double cover, and they completed the pass, went out there again, they completed the pass, so when we finally stopped them, I went over the sideline and told Coach Matthews, I said, "You're going to double cover that guy with me?" I said, "You got a long afternoon, you better get me out of there."
Oklahoma State, they were very physical, and I think you all know that. You played against them several years, 3 years. Their line was always tough, they were well coached. And Walt Garrison was a tremendous football player.
Very much so.
And then we get to the Tulsa game, they jump out on top of us. They've got Jerry Rome at quarterback, tremendous quarterback. Howard Twilley, Willie Towns, you know, they had some great athletes. Bob Burtonstein was one of their offensive guards that played with the Bears. They were good football team, but Ronnie Cavaness, what I remember is he intercepted a pass right before halftime. I think we got on the board finally. I think he recovered another fumble. So Ronnie Cavaness brought us back to that ball game, and I think after, you know, we won that game, I think especially these seniors, you guys, I think y'all really, you know, stepped it up. You know, I think we played TCU next. I'm not sure, but we played a pretty good ball game down there. So,
yeah. Well, Lloyd, it's really funny, but I heard years later that when Tulsa threw that pass, they actually weren't supposed to throw it. We had them backed up on about their own 5-10 yard line, something like that, and they ran a reverse, and they were in the end zone. Guy was running a reverse, and he was coming back to me, and I mean, it was like a big old neon sign hollering reverse, reverse, and I was standing there, and I thought I was going to make the tackle in the end zone for a safety. I thought it was going to be a hero. And about that time he threw it, and it was the biggest surprise I ever had in my life. Well, I found out later on that he was not supposed to throw the ball. He just knew that he was fixing to get caught and was trying to make something happen. And sure enough, he did. Cavness intercepted it, ran it back in the end zone, I believe. He scored on that, didn't he? Ran it back in the end zone. That made it 14-7. That's the first time we'd done anything all day long was when Ronnie intercepted that pass.
It may be a good thing that we don't have any highlights from those first two games because there wasn't a lot of them. But now we're about to go into the conference with our first game being TCU, and that's where the film will take up. Will be that first conference game against TCU.
Stay tuned for more of the 1964 championship season after this timeout.